All right, guys, what's going on? So I cannot promise you that this is about to be the craziest video that you'll ever see, but regardless, you guys need to check this situation out ASAP. So here's what's going on here. This is actually, in this video, it's going to get to the main center focus point of why I think Frederick County Department of Planning, Permitting, and the rest of them are nothing but a major liability to Frederick County, the Frederick County taxpayer, and Frederick County government just as a whole. So here's what you're about to see in this video. This actually comes from a Frederick County Council meeting. The council is a group of individuals elected from each district in the county. Their job is to make, amend, update the Frederick County ordinances, the Frederick County Code. That's essentially the nuts and bolts of what they do. But in any event, you're about to watch them essentially scold the Frederick County Planning Commission for essentially overstepping their boundaries and going into places where they don't belong. So here's how the Frederick County Planning Commission actually did that. So in Frederick County, we have something called the Installment Purchase Plan. It is through the agricultural preservation programs. It's for the farmers and all that. And in any event, they created that program, and there was certain prerequisites and certain requirements that you had to have when they opened up the program. But while the program was still open, and as they were seeking applicants, the Frederick County Planning Commission actually went in and changed the rules. And when this happened, when they changed the rules, the Frederick County Planning Commission then started disqualifying applicants from the process while the application process was still over. So they opened up a program and then they changed the rules, and they have no authority to do that. They do not make the laws in Frederick County. That's for the Frederick County Council, and they completely overstepped their boundaries. The Frederick County Planning Commission was definitely out of line, and the Frederick County Council had every right to call them out, and they did call them out. They think they can do anything they want. They think they can, walk all over the zoning ordinances. They cannot. They are not the final say-so in this county, and they got put in their place, rightfully so. They do not make the laws. Period. They opened a program, then they halfway through it, they're seeking to disqualify people based on the fact that they themselves changed the rules. You can't do that. They have no business changing those rules. It is not their position. They overstepped their boundaries, and I'm glad that they got called out. So with that, guys, check out this county council meeting in Frederick County.
I was very disturbed by the Planning Commission's action and the reasoning for the action in denying their recommendation for the 4 properties that were in the vicinity of growth areas. And fundamentally, what disturbed me about it, an authoritative body in the middle of the procurement process effectively tries to change the rules to basically reduce or eliminate one of those approval criteria. That bothers me. That's fundamentally not fair. You don't have it in the middle of a procurement process. It's separate. It has to be separate. And the Planning Commission should know this. It all starts and ends with, it starts and goes through them. Little frustrated by that. The Land Preservation Parks and Recreation Plan is a functional plan, one of the 3 goals of which is about preservation of agricultural land. And it's slotted for 2026. That's where you have that conversation. You don't pull the rug out from people, from underneath people who submitted their applications with an understanding of the approval criteria that we've long used, and then change it on them. That's wrong. That's not fair. I really appreciate the fact that staff has at least acknowledged that in their recommendations. I do, however, think that I'm gonna go with the recommendations of the Ag Preservation Advisory Board. I wanted to get that off my chest, and I've been wanting to do that for a long time now.
I really did not appreciate the Planning Commission going above their authority to try to rewrite a program that only we here can change. In regards to the motion, I'm going to support the preservation of all 16.
These applications were first brought to my attention. I went back and watched the Planning Commission meeting where these were discussed, and it troubled me. It seemed to me that the Planning Commission was, as my grandfather used to say, putting the cart in front of the horse. They didn't like the way that the ordinance is written. They feel the ordinance needs to be updated based on our need for additional areas for housing. And I agree. To change the rules in midstream seems unfair, disingenuous, and unfortunately, the Planning Commission doesn't get to make the laws. That rests with this body. And so I appreciate them bringing their concerns about this particular program to our attention and that they feel it needs to be tweaked slightly. But they really should have brought that desire to tweak it to our attention before they applied it to an application.